عماد على اليمين. عماد بخير.
Thank you. Good evening to all of you. My name is Aramin. I was born in Jerusalem. I am 21 years old. I came to talk to you about my beloved sister, Abir. In 2007, 16 of January, Abir, my sister, she was shot, dead by an Israeli soldier in front of her school, which is in Anata, in East Jerusalem. Abir was killed by no reason, or maybe the reason was she's a Palestinian. After Abir got killed, I tried to revenge for her. I was throwing stones at the soldier who stood at the checkpoints outside of my house. After a while, my father discovered that I was throwing stones. My father, a peace activist, he activates himself and tried to convince me to stop that what I'm doing. He told me revenge bring only revenge, and the blood bring more blood. And he's right. And he's not also ready to get another child killed. My father's words went through my heart like a blade of a knife. At that point, I decided that I will not carry on my conscience the mirror possibility that my family will again be hurt by this conflict. I started to think about my father's words. I decided to accept that which is peace. At the first, I decided to make peace with myself, which is probably the hardest of them all. I am here today to show both sides, Palestinian and Israelis, that peace is possible to support both people they need for normal life, quiet life. And the proof that we're here, me and my enemy, we standing together and we trying together to search on hope for both sides to make peace. And if Palestine, it's not gonna get freedom, Israel will not be in security. As Martin Luther King says, we must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. And thank you all. Thank you so much for listening to us and for supporting us too, and to bring us to here. Thank you. Thank you.
In September 1997, my sister Smadar was killed in a suicide bombing in the Ben Yehuda street inside Jerusalem. As she was shopping for school books with her classmates Yael Botwin, Sivan Zarka, and Daniela Birman. Yael, Sivan, and Smadar were killed along with additional 2 people. Daniela is still recovering from severe brain damage until this day. My family joined Bereaved Families Forum 2 years later and has been active ever since. The Parent Circle's goal is to build sustainable infrastructure to begin the process of reconciliation. Our organization's existence is proof that if we, those who lost our most precious loved ones, can work together, anyone can. Currently, there is no peace process. There is no process of reconciliation. Such a process is impossible as long as the current power balance is sustained. It is impossible as long as one side is occupied, oppressed by the other. Reconciliation begins with the acceptance and respect of the other side. About that wrote the Israeli poet Yehuda Amichai, "From the place where we are right, flowers will never grow in the spring. The place where we are right is hard and trampled like a yard. But doubts and loves dig up the world like a mole, a plow, and the whisper will be heard in the place where the ruined house once stood. There is no solace in vengeance, no remorse, and therefore there is no forgiveness. There is only the reality and the human beings who remained to live it. Our reality calls on us, on all of us, to struggle for change. Unfortunately, the struggle for change is never as simple or easily attained as vengeance. Justice and reconciliation are not as flammable as violence and hate. The path of our struggle is steep and full of obstacles. It demands every ounce of power we can gather. Stéphane Hessel wrote in his booklet, Time to Rage, "Resistance is creation, creation is resistance. Freedom is resistance, and resistance is freedom," he called at the age of 93 to all the young people that we are. Whether these are destitute Syrian refugees who knock at your doors, or African victims of Western greed, or the victims of Israeli occupation, or of any of the endless wars, don't remain silent. Don't look the other way, and don't turn a blind eye on the suffering of other people, because it is time to wake up for peace. Wakker voor verde. Thank you.